So, you're thinking of moving to Deland, but you don't know the area. I mean, where do you go to find the best neighborhoods here in Deland from a local's perspective? I made a major move many years ago, and I know all too well how scary it can be moving to a new area without actually knowing that new area. The fear of picking the wrong area was overwhelming for me. Fortunately for me, I lucked out and I did just fine. It's my goal today that this video will help you make a wise choice in picking the right neighborhood when moving to Deland, Florida. Now first, I gotta say that this list is subjective. These are my personal 5 favorite neighborhoods in Deland for my customers. These neighborhoods aren't listed in any particular order, but I will tell you that number 5 is the one that'll probably surprise you, so be sure to stick around for that one. This short list includes my preference to avoid cookie-cutter homes, and I'm really not a big fan of zero lot line homes either, so you won't see too much of those on this list. Of course, your opinion may vary for a bunch of reasons, but these neighborhoods will give you a good idea of some of what Deland has to offer. However, this list is surely not a comprehensive guide to all of the neighborhoods here in Deland. You know, there's probably a dozen others that I've left off this short list for one reason or another. Also, it's important to note that I'm not taking your budget into account here, so if you're looking for something nicer than these neighborhoods, or you simply cannot afford these neighborhoods, then simply pick up the phone and give me a call, and I can help with a more detailed opinion of what other areas in Central Florida are available to you. I'm Chuck Shaver, and I'm a local realtor here in the Deland area. If this is the type of information that you want, then hit the like and subscribe buttons and click that little notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post other videos just like this. Now, let's get back to the best neighborhoods in Deland, Florida, from a local's perspective. First, having a neighborhood guide of Deland, Florida and not addressing Victoria Park would be just plain wrong. Towards the end of this video, I'll include a link with a full overview of Victoria Park if you'd like more details. Now, Victoria Park is a great big planned community of several smaller sections located near Orange Camp Road and I-4 down on the southeast side of Deland. They've got an activity center, a golf course, walking trails, and several swimming pools. Victoria Park started building in the early 2000s and is primarily single-family residential homes, but there are some townhomes in here too. Crestwind of Victoria Gardens is the 55-plus section of Victoria Park. It's gated and has a higher homeowners association, but the landscaping and the exterior maintenance is covered, and they have their own pool, their own clubhouse, and all that good stuff, and they have access to the rest of Victoria Parks too. Victoria Hills is probably the most expensive of all Victoria Park, but it's a bit more hilly and has a golf course, and I think it's a little bit nicer overall. Victoria Commons is probably the most moderately priced section of Victoria Park, and it has some restaurants and a medical section right nearby. I'm going to be eating lunch there in just a few minutes. As a whole, Victoria Park is one of the most expensive communities here in Deland. Next, let's talk about Cross Creek, which is where I am now. Cross Creek is one of my personal favorites for many years. It's tucked away up off Plymouth Avenue near 15A on the northwest side of town. It's a little bit under 3 miles from downtown Deland at Stetson University. It's really the overall look of this community that I appreciate the most. Cross Creek is a deed-restricted community of single-family residential homes, and there aren't any bells or whistles in here other than this pavilion and some basketball courts. It was built out in the 90s and the early 2000s and has mature trees and some windy roads which give it a sort of country feel. The HOA in here is pretty moderate, and the homes are pretty typically priced for homes inside subdivisions here in Deland. I'm here in Brandywine now. A little bit further up 15A is Brandywine, and Brandywine has been a Deland staple since the 70s, and they pretty much finished up their building in the 80s. As such, Brandywine has an older look to it, but they're really solid homes. The HOA is very modest in here, and homes are priced, on average, pretty similarly to the rest of Deland. There's no swimming pool in here or other amenities other than the walking trail and the ponds you see behind me, but there is a clubhouse and some tennis courts up near the entrance on the 17 side, but that is not part of Brandywine. Being up on the north side of town, Daytona Beach is right straight over on International Speedway Boulevard. Brandywine is mostly single-family homes, like 168 of them, with 1/2 to 1/3 acre lots. There are also some townhomes and condos in here as well. The next neighborhood I'm going to talk about today may not even be considered a neighborhood. It's more like an area of town, and that's Glenwood. Now, Glenwood is on the far northwest side of Deland, up next to De Leon Springs. Now, I'm not talking about Glenwood Springs. That's a homeowners association community, which is just south of Glenwood off of 15A. Most of Glenwood has no homeowners association, and the lot sizes can vary quite a bit. I mean, you can get a nice home on a quarter-acre lot, but there's also plenty of homes up there on 1 to 5 acres as well. It's a well-treed, it's quiet area, and there's a good bit of privacy there too. There are some homes up there over $1 million, but if you're just looking for a little bit of privacy and maybe some land without a HOA, Glenwood is an area that I usually share with my customers. Although Glenwood is probably just 10 minutes or so from downtown Deland, it is a long ways to I-4, so that ride to Orlando is a bit longer than, say, down at Victoria Park, which I spoke of earlier. I'd say Glenwood is the anti-Victoria Park because it's surely not cookie cutter, there's no homeowners association, and there can be a good bit of privacy up here as well. If you're thinking of moving to Deland, you need to check out Longleaf Plantation. I've sold a bunch of homes in here over the years, and it's got to be my favorite of all the neighborhoods that I'm speaking on today. I've done a full video in this neighborhood too, so be sure to click on that one. It'll be up here in just a minute. Most of Longleaf Plantation's single-family residential homes sit on over a half-acre lot. There are some smaller hills in here too, which is a rarity here in Florida. There are also plenty of pine and oak trees too, which is what really sets this neighborhood apart from the rest of the neighborhoods here in Deland. There is a homeowners association in here, but it's very minimal, and I think they're just trying to keep the look of the homes consistent in here and keeping people from cutting down these beautiful oak trees that you see behind me. The overall price of these homes is pretty much in line with the rest of Deland, but some of the homes in here are larger, so that tends to push the prices up just a bit in here. There's no swimming pool or other amenities in here. It's really the look of these homes, most of which were built in the late 70s and early 80s, that makes Longleaf so great. Now, these are older homes, and so many people that built these homes have spent their entire lives in here, even though many of them now are being updated with the latest trends. Longleaf is located right behind the Publix grocery store, all kinds of restaurants and shopping, and it's just a short ride down Orange Camp Road to I-4, making Orlando and the beaches a pretty easy reach. If there's another community that you think I should have included, go ahead and put that in the comments section below. I'm sure that the rest of this community would appreciate that. If you have more questions about these neighborhoods, or if you have questions about others here in the area, simply reach out in the comments section below, or just give me a call and I'll help you any way I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.